Good evening and welcome to another edition of the McGraw Report. I'm Harry McGraw, your host, and today we have another exciting guest on our show from the Help at Home Home Provider Series. Ms. Bernadine Whitaker is here talking about how you become a home care provider. It's a very interesting field, and I think it's one that's going to be needed. I think the prognosis for care is really rising at a rapid rate. They estimate as over 1 million people will probably be needing home health care providers in the upcoming years due to the baby boomers starting to retire and everything. And so Bernadette came over here to say hello to us and give us some tips on how it goes. So give her a call at 312-738-1060. Now, I first want to say thank you, Bernadine, for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting
I
me.
really appreciate it. Bernadine's been doing this for quite a few years, and she may be like some of you women out there, being that it's Women's Month. We wanted to focus on some of the challenges and some of the issues facing women, and one of them is this daunting task of becoming a home care provider. Some of you women out there making good money, 70, 80,000, some six figures, and then in the interim, a loved one gets sick, and you have to take a very challenging step back to take care of a sick loved one at home and make sure they're getting the proper care. And I know that's got to be a very challenging thing to do.
Yes, it is.
So, we want you women to know that we really appreciate you, we love you, and we understand how difficult it is to take this on. But believe me, part of what's going on is not just happenstance. It's a work in progress. So what I want to do is I want to show a clip from the organization just to give you a premise on what it's all about. And then we're going to talk to Ms. Whitehurst about her experience at it, and you can call in and talk to her about how to get involved. So hold on just a second. Check this out.
We get our schedule like a month in advance, but it does change. But you kind of know who you're going to see day to day. So in the morning, I know who I'm going to see, so I get up. I'd be at the first client at 8 o'clock. Then you see the client, and then you go to the next client. That might be an hour, might be 2 hours, but there's some 4-hour shifts. So each day is a little different and a little bit more unique. You walk into a house for the first time, you sit down and you talk to them about their interest in sports, interest in football, fishing, whatever it is, just to break the ice with them. The different kind of people we deal with in this position, somebody that maybe was in an accident and just needs help short-term for showers or dishes or even some home care. We have middle-aged people that have had maybe knee replacements, hip replacements, or some you have that are in their 90s. Some ways we lighten their loads is we do their cooking, we do their cleaning, we do their laundry, we change the bed sheets, we dust, we vacuum. You feed the pets, you feed the birds. Just that little extra stuff is what needs to be done. I treat clients how I want to be treated. And if you treat them right, they treat you right.
Okay, the audio was a little muffled on there, but I think you get the idea of what a home care provider does. And really, it's a labor of love. And when we say home care, what we're really talking about is an emphasis on care. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. Also, the importance of, it's so important nowadays in trying to keep your loved one at home. So many times when your loved one has various diagnoses, they want to go to a nursing home or the doctor will advise that. But so many times you want to give them the kind of care that they need in their own home. A lot of times they find that the healing becomes quicker. Their attitude, their atmosphere is different if they can provide the care that they need in home. That's why it's so crucial for home health aides to be needed in our community.
Bernadine Whitehurst is our guest on the McGraw Report. Give her a call, 738-1060. We're talking about the very serious issue of home care and how you can get involved in it. And so we want you to understand that it's really a very noble thing to do. And Ms. Whitehurst is here talking about her experience at it with the Help at Home organization. You can also get involved by going to helpathome.com to find out more information. Now, I know that the Family Leave Act comes into play
Yes, it does.
when you're talking about being a home care provider. How does that fit into the dynamic?
A lot of times when you're working and you are in a position where you really need to make a decision, should I leave my job? Should I go? You're in between. So you have that Family Leave Act where you can take at least, I believe it's 13 weeks off, and then you can make your decision, or in that particular time, you can do the home care that you really need to do. That is when it is so crucial and so important. So you can go to your employer, find out the various avenues, take that time, and then you can be the home care aid that you need to be for your loved one. It's not a demeaning thing. Sometimes we feel, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. But when you really think about it, as Mr. McGraw was saying, how humbling it is and how rewarding it is, it's not a loss. It's definitely an asset to you as well as to the person in need at that time.
I absolutely agree. And I think that when people realize that you have to have someone who has a genuine care
Yes.
for the person, not just somebody trying to, get a stipend once a month. I think it makes a world of difference in not only the person that's becoming the caregiver, but also the person receiving the treatment.
Yes.
Because you have to have somebody that's kind of sympathetic to their needs, someone that can listen and can kind of understand what they want, what they might desire as far as care goes.
Well, really and truly, you're treating the person like you would want to be treated. That's your main focus. When you're going through a particular health challenge, you want someone to be sensitive, you want someone to be compassionate, you want someone to listen to you because you're going through a particular challenge. So it's very important, and as he says, it's a humbling experience. It's something that we all need to do, to be perfectly honest. To do something, as you said, when we were little, they always taught us to go do something for your next door neighbor, or walk the dog, or cut the grass, or something. This is the beginning of the various things that we have to face in life. So
Yeah.
it's just the beginning of it.
Yeah, I know that with the foundation itself, we
Yes.
have received several resumes from individuals that's looking for jobs. Some people send us an email, electronic version to McGrawReport@gmail.com, which you are certainly free to do. And as we look over the resumes and review them, sometimes there are gaps in employment. And so, I may call, or one of my staff may call and say, well, what happened between, 2014 and 2015? There's this little gap. And the person might say, well, I left my job to take care of my sick aunt or my sick father or my sick mother.
But it's so important. And sometimes you think that, oh, well, I just did, years ago when you say you were a stay-at-home mom, people looked at you, you're just a mom. But that is a job. It's something that has many facets to it. So when you're taking care of someone, don't feel neglected or feel like you're the low person on the totem pole. It is a rewarding thing. So whatever you're doing, take pride in it. And a home health aide is very, very important.
And I tell them to put it down.
Put it down.
Put that on that
Yes.
resume. That is considered work-related experience.
Yes, it is.
And if you can, demonstrate a need to work with others, do something in a timely manner, show compassion, show that you care for humanity, believe me, employers look at that in a positive way. So don't neglect that on your resume if you're out here still job hunting and you find yourself having a little gap because you had to take a step back to take care of a sick loved one. I think it's a very noble thing. Miss Bernadine Whitaker is here on the McGraw Report, and she's talking about the helpathome.com or the help at home situation with home care providers. Give her a call, 312-738-1060. Now, I know you might be sitting on the couch watching this program saying to myself, whoa, well, I've been thinking about, leaving my job, taking care of my sick aunt, taking care of my uncle, taking care of my dad, my mom. They're getting up there in age, and you're kind of wrestling with that decision. Well, Ms. Whitehurst is here to give you some good, solid advice on, why you should consider it. So give her a call, 312-738-1060. Now, training for this particular thing.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Is it very extensive? Do you have to have a whole lot of training?
No, you do not. No, you do. Depending on the various agencies that are listed in the city of Chicago, they will tell you their requirements, but it is not anything that is very detrimental or financial. It's very minimal, and it's something that you should, as he said, it's something that is well worth it. So all you do is find a particular agency that you would like to work for, and they can tell you what the requirements are. So you don't get scared and think about, oh, I got to have a degree, or I can't do this, or I need to do this, or need to know all the medical terms in the world, but you don't. So don't get scared and don't get nervous about that. You want to take care of someone, and you want their life. You're interested in the quality of life for that person, and anyone can do that. No matter how small. If it's nothing but a smile, it's just come reading to them or whatever. It's something so important. So don't get nervous and think that you cannot handle it, because trust me, you can. In the beginning, I thought I couldn't, but I did, and I'm still doing it, and it's very rewarding.
Great. That's
it's
great.
Good.
Now, for those of you that might have some questions and you don't get a chance to catch us on the broadcast, you can always go to our Twitter page at McGraw Report, or you can go to www.mcgrawreport@gmail.com, and you can get in touch with us that way, or you can also go to our Facebook page. We also have a Facebook page where you can have a comment or a question sent in, and we'll get it to Bernadine and try to get the answer back to you. Now, I do know that it's been a lot of talk in the news about health care. Our president, Barack Obama, did a fantastic job of setting up the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
And a lot of people have health care coverage. And so now that Trump's in play, we're looking at maybe repealing that particular law. So when it comes to keeping clients safe, which is something that I'm thinking about, keeping the client safe. Let's say a person has some medication that they're on, and getting up in age, they have to take this even as often as daily.
Yes.
How does a home care provider play into that?
Well, number one, you're there to assist the person in taking the medication that they need to take on a particular time. And sometimes when they're taking various medications, they can become dizzy. Their eating habits are not the way they should be. And this is where a home health aide is so important, because you're instructing them, assisting them, and you're also monitoring to them. You're monitoring to know if they're taking their medications on time. You're monitoring to see what's happening to their well-being while they're taking the medications. So that's very important, to keeping the client safe, not only with medication, but also in your household.
My mom used to have the pill box.
There you go. That's the best thing.
So,
keep the pill box, because they're gonna. Did I take it yesterday? I don't
Right.
remember. Yeah.
Right.
So if you have the pill box, you have it aligned. There's no problem, and all you have to do is just say, Miss Jones, don't forget, today is Tuesday. Take that medication, and that's so important. So keeping the client safe is really important.
Yeah, that's one of the small things that I see now that's starting to become a big issue when it comes to healthcare. There are people out here working a lot longer. They could be retired, but they're deciding to stay because of the healthcare.
The healthcare.
And so they have a lot of medications that they're taking. They want to continue to afford those based on the healthcare. So having a home provider can, kind of give them a sense of comfort when they're dealing with that particular issue. And in addition to that, I know that a lot of seniors don't want to go out a lot because, you start losing control of your faculties when you get older.
Yes, it is.
And how does the home care provider handle that particular issue? I mean, that's kind of touchy.
Well, a lot of times they feel much better when someone is coming in the home. They may not want to go out, but if you're there with them, it gives them a sense of stability. They can be able to talk to you more. The things that they want to do, even though they don't want to do it on the outside, you can bring it on the inside, which is also a home health, because you're making in that home their quality of life better than ever before. So that's a main important thing of being in
Yes,
that
that
home,
is.
making that quality of life much better, because they don't want to go out. Sometimes it's the most beautiful day, but then with a little creativity, you might be able to get them out.
Yeah.
Because being in the sunshine, it helps out a little bit, and they may just need to get out a little bit. So your home health aid, as I said, your creativity, your personality, and your characteristic ways to help them to live better. So you can just say, well, come on, don't you want to go outside? Or let's go out. Well, no, I don't want to do this. But you can kind of push and urge them a little bit, and that will help them so much.
Yeah, Bernadine Whitaker is here on the McGraw Report, and we're here talking about home health care, a stage of life that, a lot of folks don't really want to talk about, but we're going into that season now where the baby boomers are starting to retire, and healthcare costs are rising, and you need somebody at home with you to help you through those later years. Give her a call, 312-738-1060, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Now, would you recommend this for a young person? I mean, some of these young people today always talking about they can't find a job, I can't seem to, get something that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
But this has very minimal training and a very rewarding outcome.
I would suggest it, as a matter of fact, years ago, everyone, the boys in the neighborhood had paper routes. People don't even think about paper routes now. But paper routes, it brought something about it. You learned punctuality, you had to be on time to deliver the papers. So even if you're a young person and I don't have much education, it's so important that you start somewhere. First of all, it's a humility.
Hold that thought.
Yes.
We have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Caller, go ahead.
Where does the funding come from?
The funding? Okay.
Funding.
The funding, yeah. Well,
From the state.
we talked about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, the state is one of the main funders for this particular thing. They also have a Medicare component to it. So as they get older and they qualify for Medicare, you can actually apply with your state agency, whether you're in Chicago, Illinois, or New York or California, wherever you're at. And the state usually provides the funds for that. Thank you so much, caller, for that
Thank you.
question. And so we were just talking about how, you have these little light duties.
Yes.
Little housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Maybe they want to go outside, maybe take a run to the store, little transportation issues like
Yes.
that. How do you deal with that particular issue?
Well, as I said before, especially you mentioned about young people that need a job. It's something that you can get started in, because everything that you do in life is a stepping stone to your main component of where you're going. So if it's nothing more than just taking them out, going to the grocery store, light housekeeping, reading to them. You may be able to even assist them with finances, or just, well, how much did I do for this? Just helping little bitty minutes. Things like that is so important. So if you're a young person and you say, well, I don't have a job, but this could be something, it can be something. And it can help you gravitate into what you may want to do later.
Now, I see a lot of these seniors, they like to go to the boat.
Yes, they do.
They like to play the lottery,
Yes.
They like to have a little fun.
Yes, they do.
So home health care is not just, making sure that they get their meals, making sure they can
Yes.
get out the bed.
But you can go with them on various trips.
It's some
Yeah.
other things too.
And a lot of times, everyone, as they said, no man is an island. Everybody wants somebody with them just to talk. So yes, you can come along and go to the boat with them and do various things like that. But remember, you're making someone's life very rewarding. No
Now,
one wants to seem
I,
alone.
I really need you to say something to those career women out there, Ms. Whitehurst, because there are so many women out here who have taken on this tremendous challenge. And, some of these women have had, 10, 15, 20-year careers doing fantastic in their own personal lives. They may not even have any children. And so this whole dynamic of taking care of an elderly person, a loved one, can be kind of daunting, What would you say to a 35, 40-year-old woman who, has got it going on like that, and then all of a sudden mama gets sick and she needs to think about taking care of her?
Women, as he said, March is National Women's History Month, and as you know, women are nurturers. We believe in taking care of everybody and everything. And it's so important for you to feel, not to feel, shall I say, well, this job is just, oh my God, how should I do this? I'm making so much, I'm doing this job, I have it all together, and now someone gets, and you think of it as nothing. But trust me, it's something. When you can look back and think about how you have met their needs and done everything, because a lot of times you learn so much more from a person at that particular time. It will help you to mature. It would help them to mature. So don't think that just because you're making this great career and now I have to step aside, you're just being redirected for just a season, and you'll be redirected to back where you want to go. So it could just be just a stepping off the boat for just a little bit and get back on at a later date. But it's very rewarding. So if you're in that position right now, you're thinking about it, and this is a hard decision for you to do, I'm here to tell you it is one that you will not regret.
Well, I really appreciate you giving them those words of advice. I want you guys to go to my Twitter page at the McGraw Report and send me something on this. We are very concerned about our loved ones, and we want to hear from you, Chicago. If you feel like this is something that is an upcoming situation in your life, and you want to be involved in one of the loved ones in your life, share that with us. We want to hear from you, Chicago, and we want to thank you so much for tuning in to the McGraw Report on this Monday evening. I also want to give a shout out to the city. We had 7 days, no violence, no murders.
Amen.
So you guys have responded
Exactly.
tremendously
Yes.
to the cries for help from us, as well as the other community activists and people around the city. And also shout out to Chance the Rapper with the $1 million for CPS. That's a
Excellent.
good look, brother.
Good luck.
We love you and we're so proud of you. We want to thank Ms. Bernadine Whitehurst for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you.
Appreciate having me.
And we want to thank you, Chicago, for tuning in. And we want to talk to you again next Monday at 6:30, where we'll have another exciting guest. This is Bernadine Whitehurst. I'm Harry McGraw, and we'll see you next week on the McGraw Report. You have a great day, and take care.